This is a very difficult time in our country's history to be an adolescent male. Males like competition, they like movement, they like hands-on things. It's just the way we're set up. Those things are being bleached out of all of these curriculums in this silly quest for these uniformly high standardized test scores. And I just don't think that's a good way to approach education. What I like to think happens here in this community is that it is a safe place to be a boy. There is a tremendous relationship between the faculty and the South Kent students. It's an amazing interaction and display of humanity and compassion. Combine that with the structure, it works best for boys. They need to know where those boundaries are, that they can bump up against them and they'll be okay. They also need a place where it's okay to make mistakes. You can make a mistake, you can recover, and you can move on. What a great thing.
Being at an all-boys school is something you have to get used to, actually. You see that girls actually get better looking.
I feel like it would be a lot different. I feel people would be very separate if there were girls here, because people would be trying to impress them and all that.
You get to know your students, you get to know what works for them, being in the single-sex environment. They pull the bridges down very quickly when they don't need to impress anybody.
South Kent, first of all, everyone's friendly. It's like my family. And all teachers, wow. I love them.
Or a better version of this. We'll get
like the relationships I have with teachers compared to what I had at public school was like night and day. It's awesome. I love it. They're still like an authority figure, but you know, you can still be friends with them. I feel like you have a lot more respect for the teachers when you're on that kind of a level with them.
First, I got a lot of confidence. All the faculty saw my picture, oh, wow, so nice. As someone said, if you want to be a photographer, you should be 100% crazy about it. Yeah, I am now.
They become a family. It's almost like having 146 sons and brothers, depending on, you know, whether you have the kids in your class or whether they just live in your dorm, and it's just a different experience with all of them, but it's all community.
Yeah, I like all the science classes here. Like Mr. Richardson, my freshman environmental science teacher, we actually did a couple experiments like composting and stuff like that. That was pretty fun because I've never really done anything like that.
Adolescents tie in best with a combination of themselves experiencing as much of the science as possible, and part of the way they experience that is, I think, through stories and anecdotes about how those things apply in the real world.
We're focusing on some sustainability here at the end of the year, and we've got like a solar-powered water heater. Basically, outside it's going to be set up at a certain angle. Sun's going to hit it, the black's going to attract it, and we have some tubing that's going to have water running through it on the inside. That'll heat it up. We're trying to figure out ways to limit our use of energy.
It's not really a drill and kill sort of approach. It's getting the students involved, making them excited about their learning, helping them to achieve their goals based on the way that they learn.
There are two forces that I think are converging, and that is the rate of technological change, which is exponential in nature, and the global climate change. These are two forces that are going to bring enormous ramifications with them. Those have to be factored in when you're looking at educating people to take their place in this new world as it is evolving. Building on our 87-year-old tradition of transforming boys into young men, behind me represents Phase 2 for South Kent. Appears to be a dilapidated dairy farm, but in a very short time it will be transformed into an environmental science center for the future. What we're going to do is we're going to create 3 very far-reaching and hard-hitting programs that are connected to the school and to our traditional way of educating boys. These will be the avenues through which we can enter this new educational landscape.
They're constantly bombarded with media images of, yeah, you know, humanity has destroyed, has wrecked the world, and it's, you know, collapsing down around their ears. So they have to learn about science. They have to learn that that's not what science tells us. What science tells us is, yeah, the environment is under stress. The environment is always under stress, and we're creating some of the stress. The worry is what's going to, you know, how is it going to affect and impact people?
I think it's important for the future leaders of the country and the world to understand that all things are connected. The best way to do that is to take a 130-acre former dairy farm and convert it into an educational and environmental science laboratory of the future. Doing a project of this transformational nature does wake one up at night because you know that there are a lot of skeptics and naysayers out there just waiting for you to fail, and yet the pull to follow your vision and your dream is stronger than your fear of failure.
Well, being a leader to me is the ultimate challenge. I feel like not many people in their lives have the opportunity to do something like become a leader. You have to have certain qualities that will differentiate you from other people in the world. You're looked upon as someone that is doing what they have to do and also helping out others, bringing them along with you.
Here's a school, doesn't have a whole lot of money, but does have vision, does have heart, does have moxie, as my mother used to say. I love the fact that we will be trying to attract 150 of the top student minds in the world.